global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Obviously, the Yorubas have taken a stand over the issue of Nigeria, secession and the rest, as even one of the foremost elder statesmen of Yoruba nation, I'm talking about Chief Adebanjo, have made a stand and is ready to oppose, even if it means opposing APC leader Bola Tinubu or any southerner that wants to run for Nigerian presidency under this current constitution. He had looked at the situation. This is not just Biafra talking, but also Yoruba nation lending their voice. He said, for me, anybody talking about 2023 election is talking nonsense. We have to sit around the table and reorganize this country. When we were brought together in 1914, we were not consulted, but we don't want to break up, having seen the advantage of coming together. But let us agree on how we are going to live together. But you say no. If you don't know the agreement when the colonial masters were giving us independence, that is what we are saying. Let us go back to that. It was the agreement we agreed to live together. What we have today is not constitution that was agreed by our founding fathers. You can't refute it. We continue to say this is a constitution that was imposed upon us by the military and by a section of the country, and you insist on continuing to rule us with that constitution. Those of you who are clamoring for restructuring are the people who want the country to stay together democratically and peacefully. But those who oppose to it are the enemies of the country. So when you hear some people saying that they want to break away from the country, you can't blame them. If you make peaceful changes impossible, you make violent changes inevitable, which is actually very true. As Boko Haram insurgent group continues to attack the northeast, this is one of the things that got me annoyed, and it's part of the incompetency we are talking about on the part of the president. What nonsense is that? We have seen the evidence that these people you said you have reformed are the same people doing the sabotage. They were killing our soldiers and they have not refuted that. Some soldiers killed themselves, and those who escaped made a video clip of what they were passing through and posted it, which went viral. What excuse do we have? What has it said about all this complaint? You say you have a country, but Southern Kaduna is presently being attacked since 2018 December with the aim of wiping them out. And the president asked the soldiers to come there, but the following day the communities were attacked again. The place has turned to a killing mine. You go to Agoto and other places. It's a persistent record of murder. You just find out that these things are moving on and on and on. He now said something very unique. He said, Mama Daura, President Buhari nephew, last week said that rotation, zoning of presidency shouldn't be encouraged, but competency. Do you share in the sentiment? They asked him. He said, anybody talking about election doesn't love this country. Talk about election is a diversion. What the country wants now is to change the constitution to reflect the wishes of the people of Nigeria. In this constitution, a reflection of people of Nigeria are the Igbos agreeable, are the Yorubas agreeable, are the Middle Belt agreeable, are the Ijo agreeable. Only a section of the country is ruling us, and they are enjoying it, and we say no, and you continue to tell us what can you do. That was why Daura went to talk about rotation and zoning to divert attention. Daura is talking about competence in the country of Wole Soyinka, in the country of Gabari, in the country of Maurice Iwu, in the country of Ango Abdullahi, and comparing them with Buhari. He doesn't know what he's saying. Their joy is that they control the instrument of oppression with which to frustrate anybody who opposes them. How can Daura be so arrogant to make such a comment? What qualifies him to make that statement? What is his record politically? This is strong. He said is he better educated? Is he better Fulani than Amadou Bello? Is he a better Fulani man than Amadou Kanu or Balewa that agreed on the constitution, which we are calling that we should return to, which started the term we live together. Who started the term we live together? You want us to live together on your terms? It will not work. If the constitution is not changed to reflect the wishes of the federating unit and it remains as it is now, what does it portend for the country? We will never get peace. We will lead to separation. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you that. That will be uprising here and there. There will be uprising here and there because the oppressor will continue to oppress and the oppressed will continue to resist. That is why coming together and agreeing on how to live together is the solution, not this. I'm in power. If you talk, I will jail you. All sort of dictatorial law. All these times we have been shouting that the country is not together because of this, because of that. When has Buhari come out to disabuse our minds? When has he come out to say, no, don't worry, or these problems, I have solutions to them? Obasanjo has advocated that we go back to federalism. Afe Babalola, a renowned lawyer, has been writing articles on the same issue. All responsible organizations have been saying, let us go back to federalism because we still want to stay together. But the president has not even uttered a word to anybody. I talk this with passion because I knew how we came together. I know the grief of the founding fathers. I took part in the fight for independence, and I took part on how we agreed on that constitution that can make us stay together. All we are saying, let us go back to that constitution to keep us together. The reluctance of Buhari to restructure the country has shown that he is the first enemy of the Nigeria, but his idea of ruling Nigeria under his own terms and conditions will not work. The former Yoruba leader said, he said, I am not an enemy of Buhari. I and other members of Aferenifere campaigned for him in 2007. Femi Adesina, Garba Shehu have never refuted this. We campaigned for him to be president because he promised to restructure the country back to federalism. The same thing he agreed with Tunde Bakare was his running mate, and the same thing he told Tinubu, who sheepishly followed him, and he told him his first agenda was restructuring. Is there any integrity there? A man of integrity is a man of his word. He now went further to explain a lot of things. He said, look, I'm talking about the foundation. There must be a constitution before you talk about system of government. That is the real problem. When they say zoning, some people will say it is not in the constitution. It's better we go back to the constitution and make all these things clear. Then we know what law we are being ruled. They promised Jagaban that they will make him president. I'm not against that. But let us change the constitution first. If you want to make my son the president under this constitution, I will oppose it. I will oppose any southerner who wants to run under under this particular constitution. Let us change the constitution and let us agree on the terms to live. You cannot impose the constitution that is loaded against the South on us. I have said this before, and let him make statement to say that Ayo Adebanjo is talking nonsense. He's now referring to the presidency. That the presidency should let him refute it, that what he's saying is wrong. But that you've heard what the Yoruba nations are really on fire. They are vibrating over this matter, and they're saying, look, you are bringing in anybody who talk you jail. Dictatorial kind of constitution. Let's go back to where it all began, where the founding fathers, the colonial masters, brought this federating unit together and said, okay, live together as one country called Nigeria. And there was a constitution that bound them together, that made them all the federating units felt comfortable to belong together and be called a nation. And now he's saying, all of a sudden, from as time went on, the constitution have changed. And each time he talk about zoning, he said it's not allowed. He's not even talking about zoning anymore. He said even if the ban comes into play, he will tell his people to oppose it. That the constitution must be changed. That if he doesn't change it, then separation by violence is inevitable. Of course, we are beginning to hear the glamour and the rancor being called upon, insecurity everywhere. But that's, let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this, because of course he has said something that Nigerians cannot ignore. Just fairly recently there was revolution now, although Femi Adesina called it a child's play, okay, but then it's still something to look into. But let's feel the pulse of Nigeria over this. So all these noisemakers think they have a say. You can only deceive a few people. This one here is saying that it's not going to work. We need the constitution reversed. This is which constitution? We just want to go our separate ways. We are tired of this. It will not change. The politics still remains the same. Look at the election going on in Edo State. Already the electorate's power have been taken away. Now it's in the hands of the politicians. How can we change when it is already like this? Another person here is saying this is not going to work. Nigeria already is. The system is fantastically corrupt. Even if we go back to the constitution, how then do we do it? Already, the people you will call for to do the constitutional change are already corrupt. Wow, so many negative saying here. But this is a a forefather, someone who was there at the beginning. I'm talking about when this whole Nigeria stuff began, and he's saying this was not so. He said in the beginning it was not so, and what they're saying now is a case of you say anything negative that Nigerians have been talking. But let's look at this very objectively. During the issue of looting, NDC probe and all that, we kept on hearing the money's being looted in billions. Media trial, that's where it ended. Malami versus the issue of the issue of EFCC boss. I'm talking about Mago. The trial is media trial, very soon to be swept under the carpet. This has been on and on. We keep hearing the same story. We keep hearing the monies. It's in figures, billions. That's what we get to hear. Nothing tangible is being done. And this, Papa here is saying, look, if we want to get it right, let's get it right now. The constitution must be revisited, because as the things are going right now, the powers are no longer in the south. It's actually in the hands of the very few, which is the Fulanis. Let's interact in our comment section. What's your take on what Papa here said? I'm talking about the foremost leader of the Yoruba nation, and he's saying, even if it means negating Tinubu over this issue of Presidency 2023, so be it. But before any election should take place, let there be constitutional review, or else, if it's not if it's avoided, then separation is inevitable. Let's meet in our conversation. Let's interact. What's your take on his count? Have a nice time. Don't forget to love, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more.